Well, just 3 days until the election, and the race could not be any tighter. Martha Coakley and Scott Brown are in a dead heat tonight. Good evening, everybody. I'm Frank Malika.
And I'm Sarah Underwood. Tonight, Aaron Hawksworth is covering Scott Brown's campaign. Allison Bologna is covering Martha Coakley's campaign. Our team coverage begins right now with Allison live at Northeastern University, where President Obama will drum up support for his fellow Democrat tomorrow. Allison?
We spoke with Martha Coakley earlier tonight, Sarah, and she tells us she's thrilled that the president will be here on her behalf tomorrow. She also acknowledges that these next few days are crucial to winning this election. Martha Coakley says she is not slowing down in a race for the U.S. Senate.
And we have a fight on our hands, but we have indeed been awakened.
The race against Republican Scott Brown has reportedly become quite tight. And when asked, Coakley's supporters today addressed that this way.
I think the closeness is an illusion. I think we're going to win because we're getting people out and excited.
Polls can be wrong, have been wrong, and they're not all telling the same story right now. I think mostly it's a matter that people just don't realize that there is a critical vote on Tuesday, this Tuesday, January 19th.
This special election has received extraordinary national attention, not just because the candidates are running to fill the late Senator Ted Kennedy seat, but because of health care reform. And right now, every vote in Washington counts, which is arguably why President Obama will be here tomorrow.
He understands the importance of this. We told him we can win this, and we would love to have him come, obviously. I think he's going to really energize the base, and he will make that argument tomorrow, that Scott Brown will be a roadblock to progress. I will not.
The president will be here tomorrow at a strategic point in the Coakley campaign, and other political figures here today recognize that. In your experience, how important is this final push just a couple of days before an election?
It's critical. It's all about getting out the vote at this particular point. And we'll be making calls out through the next couple of days. We'll be knocking on doors for Martha Coakley. And it's all about getting people out to vote who may not ordinarily want to vote in January on a cold day.
So this is where tomorrow President Obama will be inside the gymnasium at Northeastern University, and the doors open to the public at 1 o'clock. Reporting live from Boston tonight, I'm Allison Bologna, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, Allison. Senior Senator John Kerry trying to give a last-minute boost to the Coakley campaign with a stop today in Woburn.
The last thing we need is a Republican senator from Massachusetts to come to Washington and join the Flat Earth Caucus and pretend that global climate change doesn't exist.
Martha Coakley did not attend today's event. We're told that Coakley's supporters inside the rally were matched by an equal amount of Scott Brown supporters outside.
And we are also following Scott Brown's campaign tonight. The Republican candidate spent the day drumming up support all over the state. Fox 25's Aaron Hawksworth is live outside Brown's campaign headquarters in Needham. Aaron.
Sarah, this is a busy weekend for Scott Brown. He's really trying to make the most of it. He threw out some fierce comments, saying Martha Coakley doesn't seem to know Taliban and Al-Qaeda still exist in Afghanistan. Hundreds of cheering supporters line the streets throughout Republican Senator Scott Brown's bus tour today.
This is unbelievable. I mean, the turnout, the excitement is like I've never seen before in the 12 years that I've been in politics.
Crowds chanting "Go Scott, Go" as Brown's three-day bus tour makes stops in Quincy, Hyannis, and Middleborough. With precious time left before Election Day, the Republican candidate makes all-out efforts to get every last vote possible.
It's energizing to see people like this who are from all walks of life, from all political parties, who are just fed up with business as usual in Washington.
Brown supporters say they're full of enthusiasm and excitement about the implications of sending him to Washington.
I'm an independent, unenrolled, but I feel he has a lot of integrity, and that he's going to have a good future for our Commonwealth, for my kids, and for us Americans.
Scott has been crisscrossing the state, going and speaking to voters in their homes, holding their hands, talking to them at different business establishments, and really being interested, and which he has always been as a state senator, as a state rep, in what people want.
At each of the three stops, Brown, who now leads the race by a small margin in many polls, blasts Democratic Senate candidate Martha Coakley for health care policy, tax increases, and the negativity of her campaign.
This is the worst campaigning in Massachusetts in the history of since we've been doing politics, and shame on Martha.
Things are definitely heating up. We asked Scott Brown what he thinks about President Obama coming here to support Coakley. He says, I hope the president has a safe trip, eats in some of our restaurants, and spends some of that money he's making in Washington right here in Massachusetts. We're live in Needham. I'm Erin Hawksworth, Fox 25 News.
All right, Erin, thank you, and stay with Fox 25 and myfoxboston.com for continuing coverage of the special elections. Our chat rooms will be open all day long tomorrow for you to weigh in, and be sure to log on tomorrow afternoon. We'll be streaming President Obama's speech at Northeastern Live.